Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In today's video, we're going to talk about an impressive and possibly twisty ending to Luffy and Kaido's battle. Currently in the One Piece manga and anime, we are watching the decisive battle between Kaido and Luffy. And as the battle is escalated, we can see that this is a confrontation not only one of the best in the manga so far, but is a matchup between two extremely powerful characters. Both characters are agreeably Yonko level, and they're also able to control the world if they wish. And in this fight, only one will be left standing at the very end. And after several defeats, there seems to be a better and better likelihood that Luffy may be the one to claim victory, because he's had a great advantage in this fight. But when it's all said and done, this fight may turn out very differently than we imagine. I mean, even if Luffy manages to defeat Kaido, there may be an unexpected alliance that is forged between the two of them. And this could be done really soon, because once Kaido realizes that Luffy has become someone that he's been searching for a long time, this might change Kaido's overall tune. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the possible partnership that Kaido may soon have with Luffy, and we'll talk about the reasons why this sudden alliance would happen and what the alliance may affect in the future of the manga. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, we'd be absolutely honored if you consider leaving us a like or even subscribing with a comment letting us know you thought of the video. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing the video with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So friends, as we've seen this fight come out, we know that Kaido is the absolute strongest pirate Luffy has ever faced. And even though Straw Hat has already fought Big Mom and really always risen to a certain level when he comes across people, the raw power that Kaido is showing is just something way above what Luffy has ever encountered. Of course, we know that the leader of the Beast Pirates is already incredibly physically strong, and you put on the power of his Devil Fruit, we've got an incredibly highly destructive power that really is frighteningly strong. Let's be honest, Kaido could destroy mountains if he wanted. But not only that, Kaido possesses an incredible mastery of haki, which pretty much makes him invincible when facing anyone who doesn't have that same level of haki. Now, it's because of this incredible mastery of haki that has made Kaido a very challenging opponent for Luffy. But with the awakening of his fruit, Luffy has been able to attain an even greater power and seems to have equalized the combat. And not only that, Luffy is proving to have the upper hand and continues to learn more and more about his own haki. During this intense fight, several events have taken place where Kaido may start to suspect the origin of Luffy's power, because his power is not just a simple awakening, as said by Kaido, but Luffy has managed to use the power of awakening of a paramecia and a Zoan. This in and of itself is a very peculiar event, since no other Devil Fruit possesses this ability. I mean, normally Devil Fruits possess just one specific power, and even if there's variations after awakening, we still see it limited to that element. Just as an example, take into account Katakuri's fruit, which when awakened allows his body to resemble one that functions like a Logia. But there's a good explanation for this, after all, because with the awakening of his Mochi Mochi no Mi, Katakuri was able to mold his body as he wished, but only using Mochi. But even so, this fruit power was resembling a Logia fruit, and it didn't have the same characteristics like pure intangibility or the ability to create Mochi, but he had a certain amount of Mochi in his body, and with his observation haki, he could kind of fake intangibility. So although his body wasn't completely intangible, Katakuri could use his observation haki, foresee just a few seconds into the future with future sight, and then mold his body to dodge every opponent's hit. Now this might make an opponent think that he's really a Logia user, but the smarter ones would quickly realize that Katakuri is not a Logia, but a special paramecia fruit user that has been awakened. For even if an opponent is using haki against Katakuri, they still can't hit him, which is something quite unusual because we know that haki does allow you to hit your opponent, and Katakuri just has ways out of it. But the difference between Luffy's fruit and Katakuri's fruit is that Luffy's fruit actually possesses the power of an awakening of a paramecia devil fruit and exhibits Zoan type fruits as well, and is not only able to give him the characteristics of rubber and then impart that rubber-like substance to his surroundings, but it also gives him an incredibly great physical strength to lift a gigantic dragon. And with Luffy demonstrating all these powers, Kaido may become very suspicious and curious to know exactly who Luffy was and where he could have acquired so much power, and a power that may even make him surpass Kaido. Kaido's strength that was previously able to knock Luffy out in just a single shot now just seems to kinda tickle Luffy. And now that Kaido is no longer able to hurt Luffy's rubber body, this not only makes Kaido happy, but probably also worried at the same time. because with a young pirate possessing this great a power, all of this could be dangerous not only for the Yonkos, but for the world at large, because if Luffy wished, he could conquer anything he wanted. So little by little, Kaido may be recognizing this mysterious power that Luffy possesses, a power in which he may closely resemble an ancient tale that Kaido may have discovered somewhere else. At some point, Kaido could have easily heard a story about a kind person who lived many years ago, even before the world government existed. And during events that were erased from history by some known event, this person who did great things lived in that past. From there, Kaido could have then put it together that this was actually Joy Boy. Now, it's not known if he was a human or part of another clan, but what was described in these legends was that he was a person who helped all those in need. Joy Boy was somebody who saved people who suffered because of the evil leaders who used to mistreat people for their own interests. Not only for that, Joy Boy helped people in every way he could. Kaido at one point in his life could have wanted to become a person just like Joy Boy, or at least have that kind of power, seeking to save those who needed his help, but it seemed that he didn't stick to this mission for very long. After all, Kaido knew that this was a mission he could not accomplish. Now, King might have believed that Kaido could be Joy Boy, or might have become him, but this mission demanded a lot from him. So he was under a lot of pressure because of this, and giving up his dream and creating a new one, and seeking now to become the king of the pirates anyway and then find Joy Boy just really could have been too much. During with his confrontation with Luffy, he also assumed that this boy would also like to become Joy Boy. But because his actions were so similar to what Kaido did in the past, he just thought that, well, just like himself, he couldn't become Joy Boy. But Kaido also never knew what it was really like to become a Joy Boy, and he possibly always thought that becoming Joy Boy was just about helping people so that he could be recognized. But the story doesn't really seem to work that way, because there seems like there's something deeper and much more mysterious about turning into Joy Boy, something that has so far not been revealed. However, Zunisha seems to know how Joy Boy's turn works. The Great Elephant could feel and hear Joy Boy's return, because the sound of the beats of Luffy's heart sounded like the drums of liberation, and the feeling that with every step Zunisha took, the Great Elephant was getting closer and closer to his former companion, and it filled his heart with hope. So perhaps Zunisha knows all the secrets of the meaning of this title of Joy Boy, and with the awakening of Luffy's fruit, he managed to become Joy Boy. Now, we don't know what this really means and it has in a relationship to the will of D, or if it has a relationship to the sun god Nika, or both. It's still a great mystery, but the real reason behind this mysterious name. But what we do know is that once Kaido realizes that Luffy is Joy Boy, he may want to ally himself, knowing that what is in store for him could need his help. So although Kaido couldn't become the figure himself, this person that maybe he actually admired, now that Joy Boy had returned and was standing right in front of him, he may be able to sense something, and then as he learns more, he could see a turn. Adding Zunisha into the equation, Zunisha would be able to confirm for Kaido that this really is Joy Boy, and that he may even start to kind of change Kaido's mind. Because if you think about it all the way back to Marineford, one of the things that Mihawk said about Luffy is that his ability to turn enemies into allies was the most dangerous power on the seas. So with Luffy's ability to turn people like Crocodile and all of the people of Impel Down, and even other pirates to his side, why couldn't we see something like this happen to Kaido? We also know that Kaido has committed many cruel acts in the past and has really sought to die, maybe as a release from his pain or some way to atone. But he may see that working with Luffy, and therefore Joy Boy, as an opportunity to redeem himself, and if he helps him in the future, that then in that final battle, he could give his life and die for that worthiest of causes that he's seen people like Whitebeard and Roger get. After all, now that Luffy is becoming Joy Boy, there are going to be many who could come out to not only want to stop him from progressing, but also keep him from getting to the One Piece treasure. And even if Luffy's enemies are mainly the world government, Marines, and SSG, that's a really big group to be pursuing Luffy and become his main enemies. So Luffy's going to need as much help as possible to keep them in check and eventually face down two of the three major powers that rule the world of One Piece. And again, because Kaido may look down the road and may even have some information from the poneglyphs that he had gleaned sometime in the past, Kaido would have to know that there is a gigantic battle waiting for him on the horizon. One where he could not only seek redemption, but the death he has been chasing for many, many years. And Luffy, for his part, with having the great heart that he has and having beat Kaido, he might just take him up on his offer, but having some conditions and making sure that he corrected what he had done in Wano and stopping any further action. And if this was the price that Kaido had to pay in order to get an even bigger battle and a more noble death, this might be a price that Kaido would be willing to pay, because after all, he would finally have that person, Joy Boy, and he would finally be able to see what would happen once Joy Boy's dream came true. So now, an alliance of two great pirates could change the era, and would help Luffy in this great battle to come, and not only against the world government, but possibly Teach in the future as well. But for now, let us know what you think about it. We know that Luffy won't take his life, as he really doesn't do it, but what will Kaido do from now on? Do you think he'll just be arrested by the world government? Or do you think there's a possibility that once he sees Luffy's Joy Boy, he could join in and get turned, just like Luffy's done with other enemies? Let us know in the comments below. So with that, my friends, we're gonna bring today's video to end, but I wanna thank you so much for watching till the very end. Make sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like as you head out to take on the rest of your day. Hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.